I'm Steve Tripke, and I'm joined today by Maddie Card. So on behalf of Boral and the Cultured Stone brand, we want to thank CSI for inviting us to be part of their webinar series. So before Maddie starts the CEU portion of our presentation, I'd like to take a few moments and update all of you on a few of our new products, where you can view those after the presentation, along with a wealth of resources, including some technical installation information, some architectural and homeowner resources, as well as brochures and catalogs and where to go find those. So in this next slide, we introduced some new products here at the beginning of 2020. We introduced the Arctic Hewn Stone color in our Hewn Stone line. If you're not familiar with the Hewn Stone line, we've got 5 different sizes available in the Hewn Stone. It's a tight fit pattern. It comes in a 3-inch, a 5-inch, and an 8-inch high by some random lengths, which allows you quite a bit of variety to make some patterns. So you could potentially use it side by side in 2 different buildings and have a completely different look. Also, at the beginning of 2020, we introduced the carbon color that we've got in a couple of our other lines into our handmade brick line. That color blends well with that black and white color scheme that seems to be growing fast in today's design world. And then we took our Echo Ridge color, which is our most popular color, and put it into one of our up and coming fastest growing lines in our Cultured Stone line, which is the Sculpted Ashlar. In our next slide, we introduced recently a dry stack ledge panel. Now this is a little bit larger than a typical ledge panel that's out there. Most ledge panels are about 4 inches high by nominal lengths, 20 to 24 inches typically. This is a 6-inch high panel. So it's a 6-inch by 20-inch and a 6-inch by 24-inch panel. So the benefits to those larger panels is some ease of installation, especially in residential and even quicker in commercial applications. In our next slide, we took some of our more popular lines and we added some additional colors to those. The Carbon Cast Fit. Cast Fit is a 8 by 16 and a 12 by 24 large format product. So we added the carbon color to the Cast Fit recently. We also created a new texture, and it's actually called the Stanhope Textured Cast Fit. This is also a nominal 12 by 24 large format panel. And then we added a couple of colors to our handmade brick line. We added canvas, which is kind of a off-white to a bright white, and we added titanium, which is a gray, to the handmade brick line. And then to our most popular and our largest textured line, our Country Ledge Stone, we added a Gunnison color, which is sort of a charcoal black, and then we added an off-white gray wheaten color to that particular line. In the next slide is where you'll be able to find all of these products, resources, and more. And that's on the Canadian Stone website, allthingsstone.com. So when you go into that website, you'll be able to see the Cultured Stone brand, and you can click on the Explore More, which will take us to the next slide, in which you'll find additional information about the Cultured Stone products, resources, etc. And by clicking through that, you'll get to our next slide, which will take you into a wealth of information, which will include homeowners resources, architectural resources. So if you're looking for specification information on Cultured Stone, drawings, etc., that'll all be found here in the resource section, along with some technical and installation information and guides. And of course, you'll be able to view the brochures and the new products that we just went over in the brochure section. So all of this information is helpful for you guys to look for on the Canadian Stone website, allthingsstone.com. In our next slide, you'll be able to find additional information such as installation videos, which are fantastic short installation videos and information. That's just another resource that's available for you on the website. And then all of the information that Maddie's going to talk about today in terms of anything that's related to technical or installation wise, we always follow the NCMA MSV guide, which you'll see in this next slide, everything that we do in the industry is governed by this particular guide. So at this portion now, I'll turn over the presentation to Maddie, where we will review her portion of the presentation, Precision and Performance with Manufactured Stone Veneer.
Thank you, Steve. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining CSI and Boral for this wonderful presentation. Please note during this presentation, if you have any questions at all, please add that into the chat forum, and we'll be able to address those questions towards the end of the presentation. So just note that this is an AIA approved presentation. This also gives you a GBCI credit as well. So if you are looking to receive the 1 CEU for GBCI, please add your contact information into the chat forum and we'll make sure to send you a certificate. This is also IDCEC approved, so any interior designers out there that are looking for a CEU for this, you will receive a credit as well. So during this presentation, what we're going to be covering is the following. We'll identify the environmental and economic benefits of specifying manufactured stone veneer in architectural projects. We'll compare and contrast manufactured stone veneer to natural stone. We'll assess the durability and constructability of manufactured stone veneer. And then lastly, we're going to analyze how manufactured stone veneer can be specified in projects. In this first section, we will identify the environmental and economic benefits of specifying manufactured stone veneer in architectural projects. And when I say manufactured stone veneer, I'm also going to reference it as MSV throughout the presentation just to shorten it up. So natural isn't always better when it comes to building materials. Many natural projects ranging from wood to stone are limited resources that result in damaging the environment and the landscape during acquisition and raw material processing. In many cases, man-made alternatives provide a greener way to build. So MSV is a lightweight building material used as a decorative wall covering for exterior and interior surfaces. With MSV, the art of science merge, incorporating Mother Nature to replicate natural stone. Specifying MSV offers the building designer the ability to deliver superior color consistency and beautiful, lasting structures that could be created under demanding time and cost constraints. From new construction projects to remodeling and redesign, there are countless options for a unique, customizable look and feel for a project. With natural stone, a team of master craftsmen shape and set each stone. To avoid the need for a highly specialized tradesman, MSV is specified to allow for ease of installation and enhanced project management. However, just because it is easy to install does not take away from the need to have a product that produces the look and beauty of natural stone. Using stone molds is the key to ensuring a natural look. The molds is used to create a unique natural stone appearance while being able to be mass produced. Through the immersion of stone in nature, sustainable design elements become available to the project team. In the production of manufactured stone veneer, the following sustainable building solutions can be used. And just note with these that I'm going to mention, it's not each manufacturer follows these, so this is something to reach out to the manufacturing rep to see what sustainability factors they do. But for instance, a closed loop water recycling system. This system allows the manufacturer to reuse water in the manufacturing process. Collect, reclean, and reuse. Water doesn't go into the sewer system. Through the use of the closed loop water recycling system, water consumption can be reduced significantly. One manufacturer notes that through this process, they were able to reduce water consumption by 50% per ton produced since 2006. Regrind and reuse program. This program takes the scrap and recycles it into aggregate for future product. This process is considered pre-consumer recycling. According to one manufacturer, the program has reduced their contribution to landfill waste by 80% per ton of products produced since 2009. Automation. So through the automation process, employee safety and enhanced quality product emerges. Automation provides the opportunity for fewer failures and higher frequency vibration tables. In turn, a manufacturer can save time and money while producing a quality product. MSV allows for environmental stewardship through responsible manufacturing, sourcing, and transportation. Cementitious materials have lower water use, lower environmental impacts in quarries, the potential for lower transportation costs, and lower labor costs. Cementitious materials can also be pulverized and recycled as concrete, aggregate, and riprap. After knowing these factors, you should see the use of MSV both from an environmental and construction efficiency perspective. In today's market, specific manufacturers of MSV products look to meet today's building needs without compromising the environment. These manufacturers deliver UL Environment certified products, demonstrating that they meet the indoor air quality standards. Many products are manufactured in facilities that eliminate waste and protect the health of their employees as well as the environment. Using MSV in projects can contribute to sustainability and green marketing goals. For example, MSV is recyclable, durable, and low maintenance, and its shipping weight is considerably less than natural stone. Some manufacturers use local sourced raw materials, and it usually is obtained from locations within 100 miles of the job site. All of these factors can contribute both to sustainable rating programs and monetary savings. MSV helps meet clients and market demands for green building and sustainability. USGBC, also Green Building Council, states that between 2015 and 2023, commercial building owners and managers will invest an estimated $960 billion globally on greening their existing built infrastructure. Not only are building owners greening their existing building structures, but the USGBC also found that 63% of construction firms had new green commercial projects planned in 2015. Taking such findings a step further, Nielsen conducted a global survey on corporate social responsibility and found that 55% of respondents said they would be willing to pay more for products and services from companies that are committed to positive social and environmental impact. The findings from both the USGBC and Nielsen point to increasingly green market trends both in the US and globally. Choosing to specify MSV provides building designers with a cost-efficient installation solution. The product is installed quickly and easily, making installation lead times more efficient and meeting project demands. In addition, MSV is not limited by geography of indigenous materials. Rather, it is readily available as needed on the job site. Because MSV is lightweight, the material is easy to cut and handle, creating a streamlined and more cost-efficient installation process than natural stone. To install MSV in the interior application, the process begins with the stud wall system. So we are referencing the table here on this slide from the masonryveneer.org website. And again, you could also access this through the allthingsstone.com website. Here we'll provide you with a walkthrough of the wall requirements and options. So when specifying for interior installation, you'll see options for the sheathing. And one option available for specification is cement board. With cement board application, a weather-resistant barrier, also known as WRB, is not required, as the cement board will not contribute to mold or mildew development. However, a polymer modified mortar is required for all cement board applications. For all other sheathings, it is recommended to specify one layer of WRB inside to help prevent water from getting into the scratch coat from absorbing into the sheathing. After the WRB, the next applications will be the lath, which we recommend a self-furring lath, no minimum of a 2.5 pound or 3.5 pound self-furring lath. Then you'll apply your scratch coat, which could be a type S, or highly recommended the polymer modified mortar. And then you'll do another setting mortar on the back of the stone. And don't forget to specify your grout joint, which we'll just talk about a little bit further in the presentation. So the most important thing to remember when installing over concrete is to ensure the installation team is working with clean masonry. So what I mean by clean masonry is making sure that the surface is free of dirt, release agents, sealers, paints, or anything that could hinder the mortar bond. Choosing to specify a polymer modified mortar can help increase the strength of bond between MSV and concrete. So in this next section, we'll compare and contrast MSV to natural stone. So if you ask any builder who has specified natural stone in a project, working with natural stone possesses some challenges, particularly when it comes to cutting. Comparatively, MSV is easier to handle and cut primarily because of its significantly lower weight. In fact, MSV can be up to 50% lighter than natural stone. The ease of handling, cutting, and installation equates to less waste and greater satisfaction from the client. Building professionals should check with state and local municipalities, as some require rain screens for drainage and ventilation. So I know you guys are all accustomed to in Canada, those rain screens. So MSV has been installed with success over both metal and wood framed walls. And this material can also be installed over masonry substrates like CMU block or brick, and even poured concrete. This opens up options to beautify almost any building or landscape feature. However, it is imperative that appropriate application steps are taken to prepare the wall to receive the adhered veneer system. Prior to any installation, though, it is important to evaluate the wall to ensure it has been built in compliance with local building codes and is not showing any evidence of structural failure or deterioration. MSV provides pre-engineered sizes and shapes that allow installation with a far less cutting and modifications. This allows the building professional to customize unique designs and match colors to the natural environment. If a modification is requested after installation, MSV will be easier to cut and shape than natural stone. Recent advances in molds, as well as finishing techniques, mortar, and substrates, have enabled the product to provide limitless varieties of shapes, textures, and colors. Most MSV aims to reproduce the look and feel of natural stone, so earth tones are commonly found across all manufacturers. However, in a recent article by the Qualified Remodeler, they note a trend towards darker colors in both commercial and residential design, leading to a more contemporary and modern look. High contrast colors such as silver and charcoal or copper and iron are often paired with more traditional tans and browns. So being familiar with manufacturers and their warranties, as well as looking at specifications and asking for samples, can help aid in the purchase of high-performing manufactured stone veneer products. If a project requires historical accuracy, natural stone is a good choice. However, the color and size consistency of MSV makes it ideal for most other projects. It can be matched to existing stone installation, which makes it a great choice for renovations or expansions. Varied colors and textures further distinguish MSV from vinyl or aluminum siding, and can help accentuate architectural features that might otherwise go unnoticed. MSV provides a variety of large format options, whereas natural stone options for large formats are limited. Natural large format stones require extra fasteners to support the weight of the stone, whereas manufactured large format stone veneers do not. In order to meet the EC 51 building code compliance, the product cannot exceed 15 pounds per square foot. Modified mortars are recommended for this type of application, and the modified mortars that you do specify must meet or exceed ANSI 118.4 and or the ANSI 118.15. So overall, unlike natural stone, MSV offers many benefits, including a wide range of finishes and styles that remain consistent in shape, color, and availability. Not only is manufactured stone veneer more versatile than natural stone, it is just as visually striking for a fraction of the cost and is easy to cut, hang, and carry. When partnering with a trusted vendor of MSV, clients also receive a wealth of technical knowledge and support. So in this next section, we will assess the durability and constructability of MSV. The ability of MSV to harness the beauty of natural stone, yet go beyond its terms of color variation, installation, and consistency, it makes it an ideal product for specifying in a variety of projects. MSV brings nature into the space without the complexities of natural stone, specifically in projects which include the following: interior and exterior, residential projects, commercial, institutional such as healthcare, education, senior living, hospitality, can't forget about the multifamily, and of course signage. So here's just some images to give you some ideas of how to utilize MSV for interior spaces. We're showing a few. That top left is a hotel lobby, kind of the dining area and entry. The bottom left is inside a hotel, so it is great for even accent walls in a bedroom. Top right, of course, we have our outdoor living space. MSV is great to wrap around any fireplaces, fire pits, kitchen blocks. And the bottom right is a large office retail shop, and so great for entryways, elevator lobbies. Definitely draws the eye. So it's not just an exterior product, but great for inside. So unlike with wood and siding, manufactured stone veneer stands up to weather extremes because it is made from concrete and stone aggregates. It does not blister, crack, peel, split, rot, mold, or succumb to insect infestations. MSV's inherent strength, derived by its composition and manufacturing, means that the product is long-lasting and requires little to no maintenance. It does not require painting, resurfacing, or any other treatment to maintain its luxury appearance in terms of color, texture, and performance. Unlike wood and vinyl siding, manufactured stone veneer lasts for decades without requiring replacement. Industry standards and test methods have been developed that provide trustworthy options to evaluate products for durability and building code compliance. So maintaining MSV involves applying a water repellent coating. So water repellent coating, it's not, you don't have to have it on MSV, but it is helpful if you want the surface to be cleanable. Water repellent is also recommended for areas that get a lot of rain. I live here over in the Portland area as well as Seattle. We get a lot of rain outside, so this just helps the beauty of the stone. Also, if you have a home or commercial building that's overlooking, say, the ocean, and you have to worry about that sea breeze hitting the stone over the time, we do recommend a water repellent for that. If you are to use a water repellent on MSV, it is important to make sure that it's a silane or siloxane-based breathable water repellent. Make sure it is not an oil-based water repellent. Oil-based water repellents, the oil will trap in moisture and can lead to issues like efflorescence. So make sure it's breathable. Do note that when you apply the water repellent to the stone, it can darken up the color a bit. So we do recommend that you test the water repellent out on a small area before you apply it to the whole wall, just to make sure that you're happy with that darker color. If you are to clean the stone, it's not something you have to clean consistently, but if you do have to clean the stone, we recommend first to start with water and a stiff bristled brush. If just the water does not take off, say, a dirty smudge, then we recommend to use mild soap detergent. So 1 part mild soap detergent to 5 parts water. So you want to heavily dilute that mild soap detergent and a stiff bristled brush to clean off that dirty smudge. Then you'll rinse it with water. Please do not use a pressure sprayer or any acid cleaners or a wired bristled brush. Any of those will void any manufacturer's warranty. So rather than turning to a painted block finished exterior, an article in the construction specifier maintains that some communities are demanding both remodel and new construction to blend in a local surroundings. A cost-effective, structurally sound option is to integrate split-face block with manufactured structural CMU and stone or brick veneer. Retailers, condos, hotels, and senior living facilities are latching onto this growing trend in order to meet the aesthetic values of their surrounding communities, as well as to meet local ordinances. So according to our Remodeler's 2020 Cost versus Value Report, the 2020 marks it's the 6th year in a row that MSV is one of the top 3 home remodeling projects. In terms of residential projects, MSV ranks as the 2nd highest return investment of home remodeling projects, returning 97.1% of its costs. With modern architects continue to focus on the whole picture rather than individual home or building, creating a holistic design practice of designing the structure to fit the environment it surrounds. So in this last section, we're going to analyze how manufactured stone veneer can be specified in projects. Most real stone can be used structurally, although modern construction for the most part does not utilize natural stone in this way. MSV cannot be used structurally and is meant to add a natural design element to interior and exterior spaces. When choosing stone for the project, the architect or the interior designer must consider the weight, size, depth, and the type of proper specification standards. The weight can vary tremendously, but on average, natural stone can be approximately 13 to 20% pounds per square foot, which is nearly twice the weight of manufactured stone veneer. In terms of thickness, if a natural stone is used only as the veneer, it measures from 3/4 of an inch to 1 3/4 of an inch. A thin manufactured stone veneer can range from 1 inch to 2 inches in depth. Whereas with MSV, it could range in heights from 1 inch to 12 inches, and in width from 2 inches to 24 inches. Based on the AC 51 code, the maximum length is 36 inches, and it could be no thicker than 2 5/8 of an inch. So next, we're going to go over 2 types of manufactured stone veneers, which is individual and modular panels. So when choosing whether to specify individual or modular, design flexibility is a key factor. MSV provides a maximum design flexibility. Routing techniques, custom blends, and flexible design options can all be achieved by specifying individual MSV. So one example of a custom blend allowed through the use of individual MSV is in this image you see on this slide. This image As you notice, there is a blend of two different textures, both within the same color. The blend is an 80% limestone, which is the stone off to the left, and 20% fieldstone, that stone down the bottom to the right. In the design phase of the project, it's important to allow custom blends to differentiate your project and demonstrate your creative abilities. With an individual custom blend, the limits are endless as to the type of ratios you could use or the colors you could blend. And then once you add in the different grouting techniques, you have a lot of different options. So in addition to providing design flexibility to the project, modular panels provide some advantages to the project timeline. When specifying a modular panel, the project will benefit from a faster, cleaner installation. These pieces of stone come in standard heights and of varied lengths. Multiple stones make up each piece to enhance the richness of the piece, which creates a stacked, tight-fitted look. So along with understanding the sizes of the MSV, specifying grout joints and color is another step in the design process. Because MSV is available in individual pieces, the building professionals have several options. So as you see here, we have 4 different images. Each image is the same texture and color, but by just changing up that grout option, you see the look changes entirely. So the top left is a tight-fitted. Top right photo is the standard joint, which is also a 1/2-inch joint. Bottom left is the wide joint, and the bottom right is the wide overgrout. So the wide overgrout, really popular for that old European style look. We see it quite often along the East Coast. Here along the West Coast, we see more of the tight-fitted joint and the standard joint. And the reason why we like to show this is the importance of making sure you specify the grout joint in the specifications. Because as you see in that top right photo, you need a lot more stone for a tight-fitted than you will any of the other joints. So that way the mason could properly bid the job. So the standard grout color specified is gray. However, when unique design or color options are needed, there are a variety of grout colors that can be used. The grout selected will impact the final appearance of the project, so it's important that you choose a grout color and a technique that works best for that project. A good rule of thumb is to create a mock-up of your design before beginning the installation. As shown in this image on the slides, using a dark brown grout color complements the stone, whereas choosing a white grout color provides a pop for the stone. So I'm not sure too many of you know this, but there are over 100 different manufactured stone veneer companies out there, but only 25% of those companies have submitted their stone to a third-party tester. So it's really important to make sure that the manufacturer that you have chosen for your project has been tested by the ASTM building code standards. So what performance certifications should you look for in the MSV that you're selecting? Those would be the Acceptance Criteria 51, also known as AC 51, and the ASTM C1670. In the next couple of slides, we'll look into what testing and standards go into those codes. So product manufacturing standards AC 51 and ASTM C1670 provide assurance of testing and durability of manufactured stone veneer. ASTM C1780, this standard provides the details for appropriate sundry materials and proper installation. The NCMA MSV that Steve discussed earlier in the presentation, this installation guide provides more detail and deeper explanation of the content of the ASTM C1780. So if you are interested in a digital copy of the NCMA, not only are you going to have a wealth of great charts available to you, detailed drawings, please put your contact information into the chat forum and we'll make sure to send you a digital copy. or go visit the website that was mentioned earlier in the presentation. So in project designs with MSV, AC51 looks at 5 key requirements for approval. If all 5 of those requirements are approved and passed, then ICC issues an ESR number showing code compliancy to AC51. So those 5 key requirements that AC51 is testing is the raw materials. So that's our batch mix ingredients, what we're putting into our product. Our product dimensions, as I mentioned earlier, can't weigh more than 15 pounds a square foot, can't be longer than 36 inches in length, can't be thicker than 2 5/8. They also look at product performance requirements and test procedures, which I'll show you on the next slide, all the different tests that they do. They read through our installation guidelines, and then they'll go do a quality control requirement test as well. So for ASTM C1670 is the product standard that applies to manufactured stone veneer and concrete block products. It defines the minimum requirements for AMSMV units and addresses the following. So I won't go over each and every one of them. As you see here, the testings for the AC51 is pretty important. Freeze thaw testing, absorption, dimensional requirements. So again, I encourage, if you are looking into using a manufactured stone for a project, make sure that they have an updated ES report, and you could access that through the websites. Also, you can reach out to any of our CSI reps, and they would be able to provide you with a copy of those AC50 or the AC51 ES report. So reach out to the reps, and they could get back to you. Oh, and I should mention too, fire testings. We always get questions on that. So fire testings is also done through the UL with Underwriter Laboratories on building constructions and materials. So as you look at this list on the back, again, it's important to make sure AC51 and the C1670 have been tested and compliant. So last, we are going to go over 2 case studies, and then we are wrapping up. So this first case study is actually one of my projects I worked on. It's the Home 2 Suites in DuPont, Washington. The challenge that the GC came up against on this particular project was the architect, who's located on the East Coast, specified a manufactured stone veneer that was only available on the East Coast. And since over on the West Coast, the GC couldn't access that stone at a good cost, they reached out to me asking for some help. So after doing some matching and looking at products for this building, the owner over on the East Coast, the architect on the East Coast, they all love the design so much that they are now duplicating this Home 2 Suites in 3 other locations in the Pacific Northwest. So again, it's really important when specifying any sort of material, finding out where that material is located at in proximity of the project site. So this project was over in the Midwest. This is the St. Luke's Heart Center. The challenge that they came up against is the current path to the St. Luke's Heart Center from the lobby is a meandering route. The new EP lab and hybrid operating room addition created a shortcut, but the path begins with a long, narrow corridor that leads to a new lobby. The lobby needed something eye-catching to attract the visitor's eyes, so they followed the new path. The solution? Manufactured stone veneer was used to create a unique, contemporary, and clean solution for the hospital. The crisp lines and variations in stone thickness create depth and a welcoming environment for patients who are undergoing testing and procedures. The unique design brings the outdoor ambience and warmth to the otherwise sterile, cold hospital environment.